2. Hey folks, Friday we made it. 4 things to say. Greetings Redcoat, comment and like my webtoon bonus chapter. Listen to the reggae especially. Yeah, not done the reggae. I've been listening to Cold Step a lot though. What's the 4th? Something happened just now I never expected to witness. Oh. Hopefully it's not too bad and it's affected you. No more stream. Affects sanity, oh dear. I am traumatized, oh no. Oh dear. This has to do with it. I sell emotes. Hi Lisa, hi Jeffrey by the way. Hope you're okay. The one friend streamed a furry hentai for over 2 hours without getting banned. What? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, but I am disappointed. Extremely disgusted, yeah. Yeah, the amount of things that Twitch will pull up, but yeah, you can just get away with just putting full. Yes, yes. Yeah, it's not. It was something, yeah. Yeah, the amount of things that people will get bans and warnings for on Twitch, but seemingly not that. I think a lot of things require someone to report it, and even then, you can't guarantee. But apart from being mentally and potentially emotionally scarred from such things, how are you both? There's those awesome emotes. Let's have a quick bit of music going. Let's turn down a little bit. Vintage 1940s jazz. It's not really fitting with the stream theme, but I like it. Let's talk about other things in case he might join, yes. Why do I have to win a Blackfire Covenant is an option. Played Sunhaven and Sims, nice. Still keep meaning to check out Sunhaven. It's on my wish list. All the angry faces. Let's just give that page a refresh because it's not bringing up the stream preview. I can't see the preview. I don't know if the stream stopped or not. That class of ritual. Will I get flagged for playing any of your stuff last year? Anything? I know Twitch won't flag me for GIS. Well, this is not sexual or racist or anything, just I would never say, oh no. But music copyrights and all that. Depends if he's got his music registered. Today a friend of mine asked if the main character of Jeffrey's newest comic is based on me. I do not shoot lightning. That we know of. We've not seen you shoot lightning. This is just something I found that I think needs to be heard. Satanic Tansel. Don't have red or blue eyes. Not while people are looking, at least. Yeah, there's the bot. It always takes the bot a little bit of time to get here. I think the jury's still out whether you are part of some sort of demonic occult that allows you to shoot lasers and lightning stuff. Why no comment yet? Did you read, by the way, the cat one? Yeah. And did it take my comment? I'm sure I hit save on it. Although I did like Damien. That was very cool. Yeah, just go open up Webtoon because I'm sure there's something on there. Okay, never mind. Cool. This is weird. Is it not telling you that people are leaving comments? On my Mac I see your comment. Windows I don't. How weird. I did leave the comment via the Webtoon app on my phone, so whether that's screwed it up, I don't know. There's some caching on the on Windows. Maybe it's not loading. It's loading the cache and not the live page. Maybe. The only thing I can think of. Could be. Or was it Shift? Is it Shift F5? Or Control F5? I can never remember. Shift F5? Yeah, Shift F5 while browsing the internet. Because obviously F5 will refresh your web page, but Shift F5 will clear the cache and then do a refresh load. I've used that a few times when it's not really loading properly. I don't know if Mac has that or not. I know on Windows, hold down Shift and F5 kind of clears the cache, brings a brand new copy of the page through. And sometimes just hitting F5 or hitting the refresh doesn't actually refresh, which is annoying. That if I'm clicking refresh, I want it to refresh. I don't want it to give me the same page again. So I just have to get it out again. I'm so surprised he wasn't banned. No, I'm fully behind you on that. It's just sitting there with mouth open like. No, it does remind me when was it Ninja? I think Ninja, the guy with the blue hair, plays Fortnite. I think when his channel got hacked or something, and they put him on front page, but it was playing like full-on porn. And so like it was on there for ages, and people like Twitch, like just tweeting at Twitch, go, what is going on? This has been up for like 10-15 minutes now. It's crazy. Even when I heard the news, I went on and it's still on there. Why have they not pulled it yet? But yeah, Twitch are useless when it comes to anything that's really important. This was on purpose though. No, fair enough. I suppose the hackers do it on purpose. I'm going to switch over to the main screen. And here I got a warning once for streaming Doom like half a day before official release because physical copy arrived early. Yeah. If it's infringement on other people's money and licenses, Twitch will crack down on that. There's obviously no license to what was streamed. So, we're not getting in trouble with anyone's any license holders. But they care more about sort of people suing them than they do about content, I suppose. Like, Twitch will got in trouble for you showing a game that hasn't been released yet, because there'll be rights and stuff. I don't report, by the way, he's a friend, and I think it's funny. I'm shocked, yeah. But I suppose as long as no pick it up and nobody manually reports it, I suppose it's not gonna be shut off. I told him it was safe as long as no one reports. I do not regret my decision. I am, however, shocked. I want a screenshot to see how bad it was. If you really want, I could probably live without the screenshot, but I'm not easily shocked. But they say it's funny to kind of see this kind of thing. It's like even when Twitch had porn on the front page, it's like I'm not disgusted by this. I'm just shocked that Twitch are allowing it to happen. I'll let you live without, thank you. Bought new Jordans today. Nice. Any special occasion? Or you just fancied some new Jordans? I need to remind myself where I am with this. Just one new ones. That's fair. That's as good enough a reason as any. So I need to give a speech bubble to the guy at the market stall as well. I think he needs to be in the conversation. I think the place I got to was finding the people that had the cards, I think. Oh, excuse me. Nearly had a nap earlier, but I thought, you know what, I'll push through. Hope they arrive before Sunday. Otherwise, it'll be Tuesday. Do you have a do you have like a national holiday on Monday? The UK's got a bank holiday. So I will not be in work. No, I don't know how UK is, but mail weekend here is Monday, Sunday, Monday. Oh, yeah. We very rarely get mail on Saturday or Sundays, and getting less mail on Sundays now. Especially if you pay the premium rate, you will still get some stuff delivered on Sunday. But if you pay like the non-premium rate, your stuff will wait an extra day and come Monday. Get mail from Tuesday to Saturday. Interesting. I do think DHL and UPS deliver on Monday. Okay. Yeah, couriers I know work on different schedules. Yeah, the Royal Mail, British Royal Mail, will deliver every day of the week. But they've stopped delivering on Sundays unless you pay the premium delivery rate. Dutch Mail is Tuesday to Saturday. Interesting. Yeah, we have 7-day-a-week mail, I think. But they've only recently decided Sundays they're not going to deliver unless you pay premium. Blasphemous Sunday is the Lord's Day. Well, speaking of the religious edge of stuff, I saw a post from the Satanic Temple on Facebook earlier, protecting children. So I think in Florida they want to make it so parents can allow schools to hit their children. But the parents have to like tick a box on the form to say yes, you can hit my child. But the Satanic Temples said, well, based on our religious kind of rulings, if a child is part of the Satanic Temple, they cannot be harmed by any adult. As a religious requirement. Which is good to know. They've even got like a little card you can kind of have to say, yeah, it's my religious right that I cannot be harmed by an adult, despite what the parents might say. Which I'm sure is going to upset a lot of Christian parents. But if they're going to be ticking boxes, then their children will be converting to Satanic Temple. So when will you do a hentai game stream? It's my standard now. Yeah, the bar has been set so high now, every other streamer needs to be up there. Like, all other streamers are down here. Like, general kind of chilled kind of games. And then sort of cleaning games are down here, obviously. But then hentai games are all the way up there. I'm sure there's probably quite a few on joystick. Not that I've ever seen many streams on there. Oh yeah. I have. I bet you have. It's good there is a place for it. Right, I need to have a look at where this thing's going to be controlled from. So I want to say the conversation, but then would it be the trigger? So effectively the trigger is the only thing that just starts the conversation. Doesn't need to actually control it, it's just starting it. Counter dialogue is just... that's kind of, I think the conversation needs to be the driver. Because we have the dialogue and the dialogue has the IDs. So I'll probably need to get characters, find all card holders. So this is what I started writing. Find all card holders. So it creates an array of card holders and a single card ID. Then it looks for all objects of a card holder. Looks for all ID numbers. So once we've got the ID number, we need to see, does that ID number exist within so we need, when we get the unique IDs, we need to ideally put up here. So public into IDs. Does it need to be public? I don't think it needs to be public. No, it just needs to be used by this, so. Dialogue. So we move this comment up. Put that there. Copy that because we want to make it serialized, and we'll make this private. So it does need to be accessible. That's the whole point of the get unique IDs. So we get the unique IDs, that goes into, we don't need to redeclare it. I could split this function out into two things, like getting the IDs and then returning the IDs. But once we got them, they're in there. Next time, you should watch his stream, by the way. I'm not sure if I follow him or not. I might do. I haven't got the notifications turned on anyway. So if I do follow him, then yeah, I'm not being told about it. He quits before you start. Okay. That's probably beneficial. Don't want the competition. It's live again yesterday after a while. Yeah, I saw you mentioning it live. Always got to get you on some kind of device, but wasn't able to in the end. How did it go? It was nice. Awesome. Glad to hear that. I need the array. It's this one, isn't it? Contains. So if contains. Let's go copy that. So if IDs contains card ID, so we pull out the ID. So we could combine that together. So we go IDS dot contains bracket cardholders I dot card and dot ID underscore cards dot ID. But doing this means I can check dog walk by back, okie dokie. Walk the dog. So if it contains that, we want to grab the character. So we got a thing for characters. Could do with having put another serialized field here. This could be a private game object. Characters. Or just character, I suppose. Do that. So when we grab the IDs, characters then made to be the same length as the IDs. Now here's the interesting thing. I could grab the characters, but how do I know which one is which? Because it all depends on how I find them. So I can't guarantee which order the ID numbers are in. I just have a definitive list of ID numbers. I can have a list of character models. We'll start by just like storing the characters. We'll start by storing the characters. So it contains it. We do this, and I've got to work out how we make it function. We'll get the syntax correct first though. So it's got to be card holders dot game object dot get component parent dot no, okay. I suppose I could get the components in the parent and just grab the dialogue script from the parent and kind of cut out the middleman. Let's see if we can just grab the parent object. Because I want to get this. Ultimately, I want to get this script down here, the character dialogue script. Because the character dialogue script has a speech bubble and the display text. So I suppose I could make an array of character dialogue rather than an array of game objects. Let's do that. Can I implicitly convert type character dialogue array to character dialogue? Don't think I am though. we'll break that out. I'm going to put that in here. Private void those unique IDs get unique characters. I'll move that out of there. And put it into update. So and go if ID underscore cards length 0. Get unique characters. Well, if it's is 0, not greater than 0. If it's greater than 0, I don't want to keep loading it. So if it is 0, then load the unique characters. That means it's not going to load it before I have them. So probably have a different int just for here, so it's not loading it. So let's go int and then just drop off the S. So IDS will remain empty right until the point it loads the distinct values. So it can't be loading values and go, oh, there's a value in there. Because if there's like 30 lines of dialogue, for instance, there's going to be 30 lines in ID. And then it might be reduced down to 2 because there's only 2 people in a conversation with 15 lines each. So don't want it to load prematurely. So that will get the count of how many dialogue lines there are. Then load the IDs from those dialogues. Save that into there. The conversation trigger will keep asking for the IDs until it has them. So then the trigger is ready to go. And down here, this is what's confusing me. Two overloads. Include interactive. Or inactive. Defaults are false. Good to know. So what am I missing here? Now if I remove that element of it, so I put that back, but then if I put in the end as well, let's get the first instance of it, I suppose. I suppose if this returns an array, I want to just get the first instance of. It's just to get component. Is that a thing? Yeah. So rather than get components, let's get component. Okay. Next thing to check. I would like to know where in this array that number is. I suppose the long way of doing it, rather than going is dot contains, I could loop it, and on the loop you load it in. That's probably not very well explained. So loop around each of the numbers, and when it gets to the number that corresponds, stop, add it in at that number, and then carry on to the next set of cards. So I suppose I could do it. Could I combine the method? So this says it's definitely in there. I could then loop it to find where it is in there. I'm eating a jewel cookie. Nice. I'd love to have any kind of cookie, but I had too many cookies last week. I need to cut back on my cookies. They were lovely cookies though. Proper kind of snap-like cookies. Chocolate chips and then chocolate coating on the bottom. Pretty much the typical large American style cookie. Just with the British obsession of dipping in chocolate. I'm sure it's British. Might be French. Jewel cookies don't have chocolate. I like chocolate with my cookies. I like any kind of cookie, but especially ones with chocolate. Right, so we grab every object that has a card holder, or should I say is a card holder. And then we grab the card ID from that card holder. Then we say, does that card ID exist within our list of conversation people? If it does, cycle around our list of conversation people. And then once we find the number in the list, where they are in the list, add in the actual script handle in that number position. So if we're looking for card ID 456, it gets around to 456, it saves it into card ID. It goes, does 456 exist in our list of people we're looking for? Yes. Loop around the list of people until we find 456. 456 is number 3 in the list. So at number 3 we save the handle to that character dialogue at position number 3. So that means the ID number is at position number 3. The actual script handle is at position number 3. So we can now relate the two via the number 3. So they should be in sync. And in theory, even though we might start at number 3, we will eventually find number 1 and number 2. So those spaces will get filled up as we find them. Because I can't guarantee this list here will be numerical order. It could be any order. I don't know how Unity will find them. And because the number is buried one layer deep, it'd be very hard to sort them without looping them anyway. If we're going to loop them, we might as well just find them as we go. But I think this will give us our list of handles we need. So because we have the handles, that means when we actually go to play the next dialogue, we can grab the ID number. So dialogue or dialogue audio. Let's go. We're going to need to know the could be dialogue brackets dialogue number dot character ID. And then we're going to need to know who the corresponding character script for the character ID is. So could I do something here? I've missed something here, haven't I? I've missed something. I need an if in here. So it's going to loop around. So if IDSJ card. Ooh, well done, IntelliSense. It worked that one out. Ah, he's back. Welcome back, Lisa. So it's going to loop around the listing of cards. If the card ID is that position in the list, then assign the character dialogue script handle to the same position in the list of character dialogues. That's better. We've had a problem there. Yay, all the rotties. So I think we want to do the same for loop. So we grab that. I could turn this into a function. So because RDS is a global variable, so I can pass in the card ID and pass out the J. And that means I only use that function once. Let's go private int get card array pos, and we're passing in int card ID. Int pos equals 0 for now. Return pos. We'll grab that whole thing, drop it in there, and rather than having this bit, take that out. And we'll make pos equal J. That means, rather than having J in there, and do that, and pass in the card ID. Really means we can lose that Now we can lose that. Let's get rid of those spaces there. Cool. So that looks a little bit neater. So we have our little function down here now. And now because we have that function, I can now use it up here. Let's put that there for now. We're going to want to put that inside. It'll be so much easier with a full size keyboard, but alas, I do not have that. So I guess the position, and on the position would be card holder dialog. Card holder dialog brackets dot display text. So that uses the handle and the dialog. We'll grab the position via the card ID, or character ID in this case, and we'll display text. The text we're displaying will be that dot dialog text. It's a bit of a long-winded piece of code. I could break it out, but in this case I don't particularly need to. Because what I could do, because this dialog, where is it? This dialog here, I could create a separate dialog value here, and then save this into that. So this dialog brackets number, save that into dialog, and then just use that dialog here, here, and here. But I'm literally only dropping out one additional reference by doing that. I could go a step further and then grab the audio, the ID, and the text into 3 separate variables. So I have to declare 3 separate variables, grab all those 3 items, and then place those singular items here, here, and here. But again, I'm pulling those values out, and I'm not doing anything with the values other than just referencing them. Damien was the last page I made, by the way. Cool. I suppose everything else was finished. You thought, wow, I'll throw Damien in there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's awesome that he did that. Yeah, I saw that and it's Damien. I recognise that cat. So that will display the text. That grabs the audio, that will play the audio. So the text will display, and it plays the audio. I could go a step further when I load the display text. Rather than just going display the text, as in just put the text out there, which will be in here. I thought it'd be here actually. I could have it loop. So when the text is displayed, I could have it looping and just kind of showing a character at a time. But I'll think about that. I'm not too fussed about. You see it in some games where you just see it, the text moving across the screen. Well, like showing, like revealing itself across the screen. And I sometimes find that frustrating because I want to be able to read the entire dialogue without having to push a button to hurry it up. So I had that on the most of the Pokemon games. Like the dialogue a character is saying is slowly being revealed as they're supposing to sort of saying it. You don't hear it, of course. There's no voice acting in Pokemon. But yeah, it just kind of reveals like a word every half a second, and if you read it a bit quicker, you're like, come on, I want to read the rest of the sentence. So I don't think I'll do that. I'd rather just throw the text out there. And then if there's voice lines over the top, you can read it along at the pace that the voice actor's saying it, without being distracted by the words slowly revealing themselves. But I could make a mechanic for that. Will you do voice acting? Yes. Yeah, I'll put some voice acting on there. Will you voice one yourself? Yeah, definitely. In this game, I'll voice all the characters to begin with, and then if anyone wants to give it a shot at voicing any of the other NPCs, it's only really going to be probably, in this particular instance, this guy, that guy, maybe her. Like, these aren't necessarily going to be the characters I'm using, but for now they're free characters, so they're cool enough. And maybe the market stall guy over here. Sounds fun. I have special recording mics. Ooh, nice. Now, technically, this microphone is a like a musician, like room mic. So it's not really designed especially. It's not a Shure. It's a Zoom. So it's designed for kind of putting in a room and jamming kind of thing. Because it's got 4 microphones, so the 4 microphones point out in the 4 different directions. So you can literally sit it in the middle and have musicians around it and just play at it. And you can then edit the channels and stuff. I've used it for like for reading, when people are sat around reading or talking. You just have one microphone and it will pick up 4 channels of audio. But I can change the kind of the cone on this as well. So for this particular one I'm using right now, I've just made the cone quite narrow, so it's only listening to what's directly in front of it. But I could open it up, and if someone was sat opposite me, you would hear them as clear as you're hearing me. But I just told it to like bring the cone right down and just focus on me. But it's got little screens and buttons on the back of this. I can just like tap it and it's got a little picture. And I can just change the little picture to be smaller. Very cool. But it's the same microphone I use for DJ. So I actually bought 2 of these. They're about, I want to say about £100. They weren't cheap. Probably not quite £100. Maybe £70–80. But I bought them because they're good all-purpose mics. So they got a SD card slot and batteries. So you can just literally hit record and they record onto an SD card as a WAV or a MP3, depending on what setting you set it as. And then you just kind of drag the files off it if you want to then take the recordings. Or you can do what I've done, and you plug a USB cable into it, and it becomes a USB microphone. So yeah, you just directly connect it to something else. But if I'm out and I'm wanting to record something, I can just use the SD card and just grab it later. And it does have a headphone socket on the side, so if you want to monitor the audio it's picking up, you can listen through the headphone. And it's also got a built-in speaker, so you can hit play and listen back to your recording on the device without headphones. So very cool. It's the Zoom H2N handy recorder. But I don't think they make them anymore. I think they've made the H4N now. But yeah, I recommend Zoom microphones for like general recording stuff. But yeah, certainly as a musician, you can get far higher quality microphones just for recording music. But certainly like the Shure microphones, as you say, far superior. But I've used these things for lots of different applications, so it's a good all-rounder. But yeah, if I'm going to do any voice recording, I'll be using this microphone, and I've got a pop filter, as you can probably see here anyway. I do want to get a one of these little foam surrounds, so I can kind of like make sure I have a clear recording. So I don't listen back to my streams very often, but I don't know if there's a lot of like background noise, or we can hear the fan I have just here, or if I move or creak or something, either myself or the bed. But yeah, I'd like to get like a foam surround that I can encase around the microphone, and then just have a nice clear, crisp recordings on there. But yeah, I'll record all the voice lines, and then if anyone fancies replacing them, I'll probably put in Discord, go, hey, here's the audio, here's the situation of the character, anybody fancy re-recording this line? And certainly in my next project we'll have voice lines. So part of the reason I'm putting voice acting into this game, it doesn't need it, but I'm putting it into this because I want to work out how to do it now, so I know for the next time that it's just, I've already built something for that. So that's what that speaker is there. So when the character hits that circle, it'll trigger off the voice lines, and the script I've just written will fill these speech bubbles with the text corresponding to the voice line. So that's what this bit here is, this line of code. So I have a list of MP3s. So here's the list. This list will have a list of dialogues, and the dialogue will hold some text and an MP3 file and a number. So the number will be the character number, or the character ID. The audio will be an MP3 of the voice line. The dialogue text will be the text corresponding to the voice line. So it will just, every time this function is called, play next dialogue, it'll add 1 to the number, see what the next line of dialogue is, grab the audio, grab the character ID, grab the text, find which character corresponds to that ID number, give them the text. The character will then display the text, and this speaker will play the audio. Now, what I'm thinking is that probably needs to be attached to the camera. Otherwise, as the camera's moving this way, you're going to hear them having a conversation over there, despite the character walking over here. So that's something I need to double check. Like if the audio is not global, I need to have a look at this lot here. Because we've got things like Doppler effect, spread, min distance, max distance. So I don't know whether I just need to have the conversation follow the character like the camera does. Like the conversation trigger sits there, but whether the conversation needs to sit on the upper layer like the rest of this and have the conversation follow the character. So this invisible conversation just follow the character along. That might be something I need to do, but we'll work out once I've got some dialogue in there. I can then hear go, oh hang on, the conversation's happening over there but the character's moved on, so it just sounds like the people are talking in a distance, which is good if you want them to be talking in a distance, but the camera's following the characters that are supposed to be having a conversation. It kind of loses immersion a bit. But otherwise it's good for like things happening. Go, oh, there's an explosion over there, I can hear it. Or a cannon firing, or people screaming or cheering, and as you get closer it gets louder. That's the kind of thing that makes it worth it. Yeah, here's a list of dialogues down here. So this whole thing here is the conversation object. So I've got the audio source here, the output is none at the moment. What's about the camera? Does the camera have an audio element? It does not. Oh, it's got an audio listener. So whether I need to add the output. Can I drag the camera into that? No. I might have to look at my sound effects on the other one. Let's hit save on that. So I do have sounds on my other scenes. How do those sounds work? Scenes, level 1. Don't need to move it over here, but I'm going to anyway. Sound effects. Okay, so there's no sound effect there. And you see on this one I've got all the sound effects listed, like the audio source, rock, earth rumble, sound volume, and I've got all the background music. So you can see I've got 3 pieces of music, which is all the same one, New World Intensity 2. So I need to kind of find some better music for this anyway. I don't actually have anything in there. The audio clip gets loaded, so let's have a look at the BGM script. What am I doing here? So that grabs the volume, gets a clip, gets the pitch, plays it. At no point does it actually grab an audio source, so I think I'm okay for that. Right, let's hit play, see if it crashes. It hasn't crashed, but nor has it actually played the conversation. So let's stop. The legs of the front one move quite naturally. Oh, thank you. The other ones haven't been animated at all. Yeah, I need to go around the other characters and give them bones. They are boneless right now. So they need to give these bones and then make the bones move like this guy. And the market stall guy over here, I need to make sure he has bones as well. If he's exactly the same, I think he's exactly the same object as this guy. Rigged, yeah. So the market stall owner already has bones. I just need to make him kind of wave his arms or something, like whatever a market stall owner might do. He's not going to move his legs, but he might be like, hi, would you like to buy apples? And then kind of like lift his arms up or something. But then it could be completely unanimated, be like, hi, welcome to my shop. Can I interest you in an apple? At the very least his mouth needs to move, I suppose. And then, oh, I don't know, his mouth doesn't have to move. Characters can kind of talk without moving mouths in older games, so. But yeah, I'll copy the movements to the other characters. So I want to see if this this gets populated down here. So let's play again and see this list. So element 0 has ID number 1. So it's grabbing the ID, which is good. Ooh, what's that? Serialized object of serialized property has been disposed. All the red text. Serialized property dot get underscore int value. Don't know what that means, and it's not giving me any clues. So have a conversation. Character dialogue is empty. Conversation. Character dialogue, yeah. So character dialogue would be empty to start off with, but audio source and dialogue should have something in it. So audio source. Ah, there is no audio source. And that comes from the dialogue? Yes, so that gets populated down here. Yeah, that's the audio source. So I should see that populated. That already has dialogue in it. So that has a dialogue element. So I should see all of these get populated. So let's hit play and see these numbers go. Ah, it's not triggering it. There's a very fundamental issue there, but it's not going to trigger. But this bit's worked, and it recognises ID number 1 is villager underscore m underscore 01 underscore rigged. So our guy that's walking at the front has been captured here. It knows there's one lot of dialogue. There's dialogue number 0, which I think is where it's supposed to be, but it's not been triggered. What's going on here? Unity's not having a happy time here. Why is it running red text when the game's not running? I might have to quit Unity because it's over 1,000 lines of red text now and it's not stopping. So quit Unity. Let's reopen it. But it's not ticking the trigger. So the trigger, so if it's not been triggered, it's supposed to tick the box to say yes, it's been triggered now, and then start the conversation. But it's not ticking the box. Let's bring it back onto the screen. Fortunately, it doesn't seem to take too long to load the project once it's been loaded once, which is good. So trigger, let's find out. The trigger starts off as false. Where do we say it's true? So set trigger is true at that point there, and that is referenced here. On collision. I have so much respect for all this coding, by the way. Oh, thank you. It's one of those things that once you start doing it, it'll start making more sense, like anything. I'm already getting a headache looking at it. Yeah, if you spot anything, and if anyone wants any explanations, and I'm going too fast, you're more than welcome to ask me to explain what's going on. But this particular instance, we have a tick box. You can't quite see it underneath the chat over there. But this bottom right corner is a tick box down here, which I've called triggered. So that's to say the conversation has been triggered. And that tick box is in fact here. So this line here makes that tick box, and by default it's false, so no tick, not triggered. And we have a function here which I've called set trigger. So triggered is true when you run set trigger, and the only place is one reference. If I click on that, is here. So conversation dot set trigger, or should tick the box. But to tick the box, it needs to find the ID underscore cards dot ID in the list of ID cards. That's the list of ID cards. If the list of ID cards contains ID underscore card dot ID, then we'll set the trigger. To get the ID underscore card, we grab it from the card holder. The holder is grabbed from whatever touches the conversation trigger. So the conversation trigger is this circle. Whatever, when something touches that circle, it runs this function. So on collision, so collisions where anything touches something else, it will then go, has the conversation not been started effectively. So it's a little bit backwards in English, but it says not, so exclamation mark is not, so if not conversation dot get trigger status, so trigger status would be true if it has been started. So if not true, and then say it's false, so you have to kind of like flip it in your head to go not true, it's false. So if false, as in trigger equals false, so if trigger is false, which it is, it goes, is the collision not nothing? So again, it's a double negative. So if the collision is not null, so if it is not nothing, as in, is there something inside the collision? And what will be inside collision is the man. So when he touches that, a collision happens. He is then captured by the code to say what just hit me, and whatever hit it is in collision. So as long as there is something, which 99.9% of the time, if this code is running, there must be something, but I don't want it to error, so I'll put that in anyway. So if as long as something has touched it, make a couple of variables to hold the data, and then whatever the object that has collided, try and get a card holder off him. So this man has a card holder down here. So he's got a card holder with an ID card. So we want to see, can we get a card holder off the person who's just touched the circle? So we try and get his card holder. So if we can get it, we then go, well, what is his ID number in his card holder? Save that as the ID. Is that ID number in the list of IDs? So ID underscore cards is a list of numbers. That's fine. That's the point. Do we have those list of cards? It might be empty. If it's empty, it won't be in the list. Let's check that. So conversation trigger. So down here is a list of cards that we're wanting to find. So if I run the game, this list should give me at least a single number, so it does. So the list of cards we're looking for is just one. Just one card, and that card number is 1. So it picks up that. So this process here gives me a list. That list only has one item. That one item is number 1. If that list of one item with the number 1 has this ID card number. Start the conversation. So I probably need to put some logs into here to see at what stage it's not doing a thing. So let's put one in here. So let's do it by stage. So I keep forgetting what it is now. Debug.log. So debug.log. Let's say trigger not triggered, or not true. Trigger not true. And then at this stage we're saying Donya wants Juru cookies. Can Donya have Juru cookies? Or does Donya just wants what Donya wants? Debug.log. Damien wanted my my steak dinner earlier. Unfortunately for Damien, I'd already eaten my steak dinner and just had a plate with sauce on it. So I'd finished eating and he jumps onto the table for me to only take the empty plate away from him. He then walked around, tried to think out another reason for him to be on there, and just collapses down, lies down and starts washing himself. Because yeah, I meant to do this, I wasn't after that plate of food. So let's put another thing. Collision is not null. He ate stew cookie with Donya. Nice. Yeah, I think Damien was very disappointed. Because he could smell me cooking the steak. And he was given his food. Like his regular cat food. And he kind of looked at his cat food and he could smell my steak and go, well, why does he get the good stuff? And he's refused to eat his actual food. I needed pets to share food with. First it was Ozzy, now Donya eats with me. That's cool. Yeah, it's a good bonding thing. Like humans and animals have shared food for hundreds of years, and that's why we have domesticated animals now. We would not have pets if we weren't for sharing food. Obviously these days we have specialised food. But yeah, I know the whole domesticated dog situation is because humans shared their food with wild dogs, and the wild dog goes, I like this human, I shall hang around. Right, let's put another debug in here. So debug.log. So this debug.logs give me messages, so I can read the message. We have a holder. Let's put another debug.log. What is your favourite pasta? Ooh. As in like the whole dish or the type of pasta? Some I like all kinds of pastas. Type of pasta. Later whole dish. Okay, so the actual type of pasta that I mostly eat the fusilli, like the spirally pasta, because I can buy that in 3 kilogram bags, massive bags of that. So I mostly eat that, but I quite like, if I'm going to buy pasta specially to make like a really fancy dish, what would I go for? Because the thing is, the supermarket doesn't always hold all types of pasta, but I quite like ooh, if I could have any type of pasta, I'm gonna have to quickly Google the pasta types, because oh, the pasta shells are nice. I do like the pasta shells. I like spaghetti, but spaghetti, I tend to flick sauce everywhere with spaghetti, so, or lasagna, which only works in the whole dish. Yeah, I like pretty much every pasta. If there's any pasta I don't like, but like spaghetti, I find quite messy. I quite like linguine because it's thicker than regular spaghetti. The same like the penne. I quite like penne, but again, I get sauce everywhere with penne. I think for like, mainly for the experience, I like the shells or the concholi. Yeah, I like pasta shells. The long thick spaghetti, which is slightly different than normal spaghetti. Yeah, I quite like linguine, and I like what's the other spaghetti like? Got a whole diagram here. Got fettuccine, angel hair, linguine, spaghetti. It's basically just all long strips of pasta. Well, rigatoni is quite nice, but then again, because rigatoni is like penne, because it's a tube, and yeah, anything with tubes just. The good thing with tube pasta is that it holds the sauce, but as you're going to eat it, the sauce is going everywhere. But I like the shells because the shells kind of hold the sauce inside them, so I can still have the sauce inside the pasta, but it's not falling out the pasta. So yeah, I would say the pasta shells or the conchigli. Congili? I don't know how you say it in Italian. Shells are great as well. Yes, I like that one a lot. Now, as far as an actual pasta dish, big fan of bolognese. I like the rich flavours in bolognese, but I also, if I'm gonna have something like spaghetti or linguine, like a longer pasta, I will go for like a carbonara. Yeah, I made Nix and I carbonara as one of the first times I cooked for Nix. A nice simple dish. I like lasagna Jeffrey's mother makes for me is with spinach boiled eggs. Oh yeah, I think you mentioned before with the eggs in lasagna. I also like pesto pasta. Oh, pesto pasta. I've never made pesto pasta, and I've only ever eaten my friend's pesto pasta. He makes the best pesto pasta. In fact, we were supposed to be having a barbecue tomorrow, but they're away sort of for the weekend. So I think next weekend we're having like a barbecue, and my friends could be there. And every barbecue we have, he has to make pesto pasta because he makes the best pesto pasta. But I never had it with shrimps. I might have to try that. The one I make myself is pesto pasta with shrimps marinated in Tabasco. Oh, that sounds lovely. Pesto pasta can be very easy to make. Never tried it, but I'm sure I could probably get it. But yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. Interesting fact: the guy who makes the pesto pasta that I'm talking about is also the one that made my transition with all the bricks. He's very talented. It's also easy to ruin, of course. Has some bad ones. Yeah, I like. I don't have it very often, but I do like arrabbiata, which is like a very spicy pasta dish. I think it's just like spicy tomato pasta. Sounds nice, yeah. It is. It's not a lot to it. Like you would have to add some more stuff to it. See if I can find the actual name of it. So I might be saying it slightly wrong. Arrabbiata. It's known in Italian as it's a spicy sauce made with tomatoes, garlic, peperoncino, parsley, virgin oil. Sauce originates from Lazio region of Italy. Well, I'll let you Google that one yourself. But yeah, I like don't have it often, but I like the arrabbiata. But yeah, if you have it in like I've had it in a restaurant, and you literally just have the pasta and that tomato sauce. But yeah, it's kind of just chilies, tomatoes, garlic. So I probably made a very similar thing myself quite often, because I tend to put spices into my tomato pasta sauces. Yeah, the Google, yes, sounds amazing. Yeah. But yeah, if I want to have like a rich tomatoey stuff when I'm like if I'm at home, I'll make a bolognese, or a everyone has it now. Carbonara. I've only really made a couple of lasagnas. I don't make lasagna very often. It's a lot of time to kind of like layer stuff and then put it in the oven. Whereas yeah, you make it like a bolognese. You just kind of stir it a couple of times, throw it all together, and you have a meal. Jeffrey's aunt made a veggie pasta sauce for me. It was tomato, lots of other vegetables, and cheese. Ooh. It was pretty good. I used to like carbonara, but most sauce now have ham. Yeah. Traditionally, carbonara doesn't really have. I don't think carbonara is supposed to have ham traditionally in Italian, but it mostly comes with ham now. For a long time, I thought carbonara was supposed to have things like ham and bacon. But No, originally it didn't have it. But yeah, every time I see it, like when I've eaten it, I thought, oh, it's supposed to come with ham or bacon, but no. I've looked up recipes and go, that's not the traditional Italian recipe. Oh, I like it. I personally like it with the ham or bacon, like. But yeah, the traditional recipe is supposed to be a. I think it's supposed to be like a poor man's meal kind of thing. It's supposed to be like a very low budget Italian meal. Like the idea is that you don't have a lot in your cupboard. You have pasta, you have egg, and sort of you make yourself a very quick, cheap meal that tastes like it tastes luxurious, but very kind of low cost. Apart from the price of eggs going up, of course. But that's the point of it, apparently, which I can understand. But yeah, I've made it traditionally, and I've made like a cheese, like a cheese sauce, like a bacon and cheese sauce pasta, which is it's not traditional in the slightest. And I've done mushroom. Did a nice mushroom sauce to go with pasta. But I generally just think of a sauce, think of vegetables, and then put them together and put pasta with it. But I don't tend to cook traditional meals very often. I just go, well, here's a type of pasta I like. Here is a vegetable. Here's a type of sauce. Here is a meat. And then just match them up and go, well, this meat with this sauce with this vegetable with this pasta. That sounds like a nice meal. But yeah, if I'm going to pick an actual Italian meal, bolognese, carbonara, or arrabbiata, depending how my mood strikes. Push the wrong button. ID underscore card. So that gives me the card ID. I'll do one more debug. So I basically riddled my code with debugs. Interesting. I don't know why IntelliSense is going for that, but that's not right. The cards in list. So we do that. So for every time we have debug.log, that will actually write a message to me. Wait for it to finish loading stuff in the background. Why does it keep saying serialized object of serialized property has been disposed? I don't understand what's going on there. But yeah, so every time in the code it says debug.log. So this is the log down here. So any of the messages, the red text and stuff is the log. So every time I've got debug.log, it will write that message to the log. And if I see the message, I know it's got to this point in the code. If I don't see the message, it hasn't got to that point in the code. So I'll hit save, and I'll see which messages we see. None. We see no messages. So what's that coming? So basically none of this is running, which is why it's not working. So this function is not even being run. All of this I've added in here is completely pointless because none of it is happening. So collision trigger. Are we missing? Are we missing? We got a collider. It is a trigger. Ah, do I need to have is it a different function name? Private void on trigger? On trigger enter. There we go, got the wrong function type. So let's grab all the code out of here. Because collision only works with things hitting each other. But I have modified the collision to be triggers. And the difference being, as I say, a collision is when two things physically hit each other. We don't want the character to hit the circle. We want to pass through the circle, and to do that we convert the collider to a trigger by ticking the box. But now it can't collide, it has to trigger, and I have to run a slightly different bit of code. I'll leave the debug so you can actually see the log happening down here, then I'll delete them. So we run this. Stop. So it says trigger not true, collision is not null. You're trying to create a mono behavior using a new keyword. This is not allowed. Mono behaviors can only be added using add components. Alternatively, you can script inherit from scriptable. Oh, okay. Trigger not true, collision not true. So let's remove this new here. Don't need that in there. So it was unhappy about that. So it's just as well we kept those in there because something is still not quite right. Oh, this is 11 PM. Let's do a quick test and then we'll wrap it up. Because we nearly streamed for 2 hours. Okay. I can do intro rap for you in this game. Never considered actually having an intro rap. I'm very bad at rapping though. But it would be free. I'll get every single penny's worth of that. Okay, we can see a repeated bit here. So trigger not true, collision is not null, trigger not true, collision is not null. So that's because we have two things colliding with it, which is this guy and that guy. The woman behind doesn't have a collider. She's basically a ghost. You still feel like you wasted your money. I like a refund even though it was free. So that is, we're getting that bit. Please do that. So we're getting to this bit of code. So trigger not true, we get into this bit of code, collision is not null. What we're not getting is this bit. So I'm happy that is happening, so we can delete that bit. That's fine. I had that with Bus Simulator. I torrented it and still felt like a waste of my money. Yeah, like driving simulators, like Bus Simulator or Truck Simulator. I understand people enjoy them, but I've seen streamers play them and I'm bored. Like watching the streamer, but playing it might be different. Might like it. You had to do math. Yeah, I might consider it if there's math involved. Like, I consider all these like these what they refer to as streamer bait kind of games, where they look like they're just there for streamers to play and make content with. Oh, you don't like him? I thought Mr. Clean Simulator, Rock Simulator was like. Yeah, I consider these other kind of simulator games. So I might like it. Because you have the things like, was it like gas station simulator or shop attendant simulator? Or you have to restock the shelves and calculate how much money a customer has to spend and how much change they have. They look like they could be fun for a laugh, but then you're only playing for about an hour and you get bored. But yeah, I've watched one of the streamers I've watched for ages. She's become a truck simulator like streamer now. Like her main content is truck simulator. Like I enjoy her content for her as a streamer, but the game. It's only when the game fucks up. It's funny for me. It's entertaining. Like the truck does something weird, or she crashes or something. Game PC simulator, yes. Like I do have PC simulator. Yeah, I got both. Have I got both of them? Yeah, I like making computers in real life, and I like simulators for making simulators for making gaming PCs and stuff. You have a big simulator game collection. I do. Yeah, because the expectations on simulator games are quite low. I'm quite a low expectation kind of person. But yeah, I feel. Yeah, I feel something like Bus Simulator on the surface feels quite restrictive. But I'm sure you can have a lot of fun with it. Like if it's like a racing game, like I like driving around and just sort of testing my driving skill. So that's why, because I've played so many racing games, I think playing a game where you drive and you don't race, I feel I might be just live racing game. Now I've got like a proper Logitech steering wheel as well. Can't use it here because there's nothing to clamp it to, but it's in the office in the other room. But it's a proper. Got the steering wheel. I got the gear, and I got the pedals. So that's quite fun to play racing games with, especially when you get the feedback from the wheel as you go around corners. You feel the wheel jerking at you. But it's been ages since I've used it. Need to set it up again. But I played a lot of racing games on like gamepads on the Xbox and PlayStation. But it's a different experience with the wheel. But yeah, I played like racing games on like the Sega Mega Drive. I played them on the PlayStation 1. I played them on PC. But yeah, I love racing games. And I played a lot of FPS games like Halo. Mainly Halo. And Gears of War. And then what they refer to as boomer shooters these days. I'm still not happy about the genre gaining the name boomer shooter. I like the genre, I just don't like what it's been called. But to be fair, my father likes boomer shooters. Let's do a debug here and find out what has actually been picked up. Debug the log. Name. So it'll get to this point, it'll tell me the name of the object. And it depends what it actually picks up. Or it depends whether it actually picks up the components I'm after. Waypoint driver, rogue W. So it doesn't actually pick up the villager. Why does it not pick up him? He hasn't got a collider, that's why. Okay. The rogue, let's have a look at the rogue. And what about the waypoint driver? So the waypoint driver has a box collider. The rogue does not have a collider. But it's still picked up. So how is the rogue being picked up? Does it... Ah. Rigid body, box collider. Okay, so this guy... This guy needs a box collider. Some people are interested in my Sims, but I don't want to get banned. Yeah, best not. Can you stream my Sims for people? You could say you could stream it in Discord. I'll stream in Discord for you, and stream to you and you to the world. There, we'll keep it in the Discord. Or we make an old account on Twitch and see how long it lasts for. And again, one friend's still on Twitch, true. My Sims is children game compared to what I saw, yeah. Jeffrey has played some weird ass games, I don't doubt that. I fully expect. That's all children's games compared to whatever I saw today. His game had a dragon with giant tits shooting fire from her nipples and pissing on people. Yeah, that sounds like a major issue that probably needs to see a doctor about. Right, he has. Like I can handle much, but was in shock. Yeah. I said I'm not shocked. I'm not. There's a lot of things that I don't care about seeing these days. Like, if it's not direct human suffering, there's not really much I care about seeing now. Or animal stuff, like the suffering of sort of kind of conscious beings. But apart from that, sort of, there's not really much that bothers me these days. Someone had that in his brain and decided to create it. There were no people in the game. Oh, yes, of course, all furries. Others, not humans. Yeah. But yeah, I don't mind video games which, like things like Grand Theft Auto, like they're NPCs. I don't care what happens to the NPCs. I don't have an emotional bond with that character. So I don't particularly care. But yeah, sort of anything that's kind of simulated doesn't really bother me. But if it has real world links, as if it's come from something in the real world that was bad, like if it's a video game recreation of a really bad event, like the bad event happened, I don't want to play through that exact thing. Still not picking it up. I think it probably needs to have a rigid body as well. It's got a collider. Rigid body. Controls whether physics affects the rigidity. No, use gravity. Controls whether the gravity affects the rigid body. I'll see what happens with that. It might mess up the character, so I might have to untick some of these things. Do you want us to notify you when he's live again? Yeah, you can send me a message, and if I'm about, I'll see if I can sneak in there. Every Friday, 8 PM. Okay. Unless he's not. I'll keep that in mind. Like next Friday, I won't be home anyway. So not null, weapon driver is not null, villager rigged, so he's picked him up. We have a holder, card ID 000, card in list. I'll send message, thank you. Turn the gravity off so he's not affected by gravity. So card in list was the last thing it says. Okay. So we know that is now working. We can delete those. I'll leave that one in there. And that as well. So the next thing to check then is this tick box in the conversation. So see if this tick box now gets ticked. Yes, tick box is ticked. But something else is wrong here. Oh, what's it doing? Something is really not happy. Unassigned reference. Variable SRC or conversation has not been assigned. You probably need to assign the SRC variable of the conversation script in the expector. Okay. Audio source. That's probably what I need to do. Don't know what's going on there. I'll save it again. And I'll close Unity and reopen it one more time. Because I want to see if this works. And then we'll wrap it up from there. Once I see it not erroring anymore. Thank you for the stream. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm just going to quickly check this and then we'll... Epic as always. I sell emotes. Sell the best emotes. Alright, just going to quickly run this. And see if I get the things down here I want. Oh. Oh, it crashed. Never had that before. So index out of F. Out of range. So dialog number. Ah. So this should probably be -1, I suppose. Because it adds to it and that becomes a 0. Otherwise I have to put -1 here. So we'll do that. That's a pretty simple. Reset that. Hit play again. Oh, didn't like it still. Index out of range. Index was outside the bounds of the array. Okay, let's find out what the actual dialog. That's dialog there. It's an audio clip. So let's find out what the actual number is here. Debug.log. Just put a little bit of text. 42 went offline because the main screen. Okay. No, just one more check and then I'll be offline. Yeah, it crashed. Count. I do need to go. Heavy rain. Oh no. Hopefully nothing gets flooded. Real, not a game, head the game. Right, I'm going to do that. Run that, and then I'll wrap the stream up once we know what the errors are. And deal with it next Wednesday. Okay, save. Because yeah, I know it's late for you guys, and I do appreciate you being here. So count one, number one. Oh, I'm not gonna sleep. Do what you want. See, it's doing this again. I'm not sure you can see that on the stream. Here's a list of errors that are coming up. The game's not even running. This is errors coming from Unity itself. I don't know why it's doing that. So why is that one? If you move to raid, the dude that buys emotes from me, etc. is live. Don't feel like, just don't. That's fair. I'll see who's on when I actually. I am not sure if I can sleep or if the images of Titty Dragon haunts me. That every time you close your eyes, it's just Titty Dragon. Okay, so that's getting a 1. Why is that getting a number 1? Yeah, it's... Whenever I blink, it flashes before me. You just get bloodshot eyes. You go, I can't blink. I must not blink. The image is burnt on my retinas. As long as my eyes are open, I cannot see it. So dialogue numbers -1. Ah, I think I know why. Conversation. This could be in here, isn't it? What's scary to me is that it wasn't meant as a joke. It was meant to be erotic to some. Yeah. It's going to take a while for me to find dragons cool again. I'm truly sorry to hear that. I love dragons. I often take some pictures, but I have a lot of dragons. It's like when I do DJ streaming, the camera that you see looking at me, like looking right across at me and seeing the whole thing, beside that camera, so the camera's zoomed in, beside the camera is a lot of dragons. But of course you can't see those because the camera's zoomed in on me slightly. But yeah, I have a lot of dragons. I want more dragons, but I have no space for dragons. Right, let's try this again. Because I forgot, even if you change the number in the code, this number down here, it works. It's quiet, but it works. And you can see it's blank, the text there. Awesome. We have progress. It works. It's not crashing. So, I will leave that there then, because we have got to a good point. We know that works. You walk across it, he says a thing. Okay, let's go back to full camera. Let's make sure that's saved. I don't know what is going on with Unity. I really do not. I have to close it again. But let's have a quick look on who's line. Who is online, and who do I want to potentially raid, if anybody. Yeah, fear the people that find that kind of stuff erotic. Thing is, there's people that find all kinds of things erotic. Some of them are harmless, some of them are just weird. Others are really not good at all. So we have Mad Max is playing Marvel Rivals. Shadow Wolf is playing Legend of Zelda. Who else? Our friends of the stream. Those are people that follow us streaming, but none of them are friends of the stream. But yeah, we've got Mad Max and we've got Shadow Wolf. Both have equal amount of viewers. I don't really think anyone that plays furry games. I'm scared. Or anyone with a furry tag. Yeah, I'm sure furries are lovely people. There's some very weird ones amongst them though. But yeah, I think I shall not raid anybody. I'm just gonna rest because I've been streaming for long enough. But thank you all for joining us. I do appreciate you being here. Have a great weekend. Good night. Cool. Tell me if Monday stream will do. I'll work out with Nick's what if we're going to be doing anything. So we both won't be working. So we might be out somewhere and not be back in time. But yeah, I'll let you know what we're up to. But thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy what you have left of your Friday evening. Enjoy your weekend, and I quite possibly back on Monday. If not, I'll be back on Wednesday, and there won't be a stream next Friday. So I'll do more of this in 2 weeks' time. If not on Wednesday. I don't know. I'll keep you guys posted. But thanks for being here. Have a good night, good weekend, and I'll see you next time. Have a good night.